Hey guys, I hope you're ready for this week. It's gonna be a crazy one. But first, today I have exclusive leaks on the Apple Watch Series 6 in collaboration with Max Weinbach. Some very exciting features coming to your wrist this summer with watchOS 7, as well as new hardware and sensors coming to the Watch Series 6 in the fall. More news on AirPower. Yes, it's really happening and being tested right now with an Apple A11 chip and more iPhone 12 and SE stuff. Let's get into it. So first off, John reminds us that this is the week that the iPhone SE 2020 will be getting released. Calendar week 16, which Max Weinbach also did predict would be happening. This is the week. Apple will be dropping the new iPhone, low-end budget model. The timing couldn't be worse, but I am so excited. I love Apple release weeks. A separate report by GF Securities, obtained by Mac Rumors, also details Apple's timing for the iPhone SE as well as the iPhone 12 and the launch. It's been confirmed that it will be happening in two segments. So first off, they confirm that the iPhone SE is happening this week, midway through April. They confirm all the specs we've already heard, nothing new there. What's interesting is that they detail the iPhone 12 release schedule, saying that it's behind 2 weeks on the engineering validation test stage, which means that the release will be getting pushed back, but only for one device. So Jeff from GF Securities confirms that Apple will be releasing the 2020 lineup in two parts. One, a fall launch for all models but the 6.7 inch. So that includes the 5.4 and both models of the 6.1 inch iPhone, meaning that the flagship, the high-end model, which is rumored to potentially come without a notch, unlikely, will be happening in October. And this isn't unusual. Apple has delayed the launch of the iPhone 10 and 10R in a staggered release due to the production delays, so that's what's going to be happening this year as well. Moving on, my boy John Prosser is sharing more leaks on AirPower, saying that employees are actually getting this device at home during quarantine, labeled C68. It's a sharing and proximity team that's testing this, and lo and behold, it's AirPower. This is a leaked image of AirPower with an Apple Watch on it, and John offers more details as to why this device was delayed, what Apple's doing right now, and yes, they are releasing it sometime in the future. First off, he mentions there's an Apple A11 processor inside to dynamically manage heat. It seems like absolute overkill, but this here is Apple's solution to their overheating issue. So the Apple A11 will be used for dynamic coil management. John Prosser elaborates that it'll be able to route power from specific coil regions, and it can dynamically wait for temperatures to drop before applying more power to prevent the overheating issue. So it doesn't fix the issue with the overlapping coils, but it does manage them in a better way, which in result fixes the issue. Absolutely brilliant engineering. This could be the reason we'll be seeing AirPower here fairly soon. And now it makes sense why I reported with Max Weinbach that AirPower would be getting its own software updates. It has an Apple A-series chip in it. Of course it's getting its own software. So those widgets we saw not too long ago in the notch leaks for the iPhone 12, John asked his source about those, and he says that apparently no current build of iOS 14 that any engineer is using has those widgets inside. It doesn't mean Apple won't activate them at the last minute, as Apple works in a fragmented way. With iOS, certain teams work on one feature that others know nothing about, but he says it's more than likely this will be used for iOS 15. It's not the first time you hear about a feature that's being worked on only to be released on the next year's release cycle. John also reports that third-party widgets are coming to the Control Center in iOS 14, yet another feature Apple is sourcing from the jailbreak community with complete impunity. Okay, so getting into the Apple Watch Series 6 stuff, I want to start with a report from the verifier in collaboration with iUpdate OS. They reported on several new features coming to the Apple Watch Series 6 as well as watchOS 7. The verifier is reporting that Apple is exploring two ways to bring Touch ID to the Apple Watch. Now, this isn't necessarily happening for Series 6, but I wanted to include it in our concept regardless. They say that one of the options is bringing Touch ID to the digital crown. One is to place it beneath the display in an in-screen fingerprint solution. So our concept shows a solution where Apple would replace the digital crown with a swipe, a sensitive area that would be more suited for Touch ID. And the verifier points to this being a Series 7 feature. So Series 6 unlikely to get Touch ID. And we know that Apple is bringing Touch ID to the power button on the iPhone SE 3 series in 2021 as they're removing the home button from the screen. We still haven't made our concept on that, but it's possible that Apple could could use that tech and bring Touch ID to the power button on the Apple Watch Series 7. Apple is also considering bringing Touch ID back to the iPhone, so it's not out of the question that they're working to develop it on the Apple Watch series. Is the digital crown here to stay, or could Apple possibly replace it with a swipe area for Touch ID like we're predicting? We also moved the microphone, but again, these changes will not be happening until 2021, according to the verifier. The verifier also confirms that a blood oximetry sensor will be happening on this year's Apple Watch Series 6. This has been corroborated by several reports, and it'll introduce blood oxygen level monitoring on the Apple Watch, a feature I'm very much looking forward to and will help continue cementing the Apple Watch as a very important health tool. The verifier also confirms that Apple is working on improvements to Siri in watchOS 7, as well as a system-wide UI refresh. Unclear in which way, but Apple is working extensively on the software. And the verifier confirms we will not see a major redesign on the Apple Watch Series 6. So any round concepts, any crazy things you're seeing, not happening. It'll look mostly the same. They're saying most of the changes will be happening underneath with better battery life, better sensors. Wi-Fi 6 is very possible, as well as improved battery life, of course, to support sleep tracking. Earlier, Bloomberg did report that sleep tracking is very likely going to be an exclusive for the 2020 Apple Watch and will not be coming to older models because it'll likely, of course, require more battery, a problem I hope Apple will fix on this year's Apple Watch. And earlier leaks from Ming-Chi Kuo confirmed the Apple Watch will be getting upgraded Wi-Fi, faster performance via an S6 chip, which is new hardware, not recycled like the S5 was. He also confirms it'll be getting improved cellular speeds via a new antenna and improved water resistance. Now, what that could mean is possibly water sports, so high impact water sports, snowboarding, such where water or liquids can get crammed into ports at an extreme velocity. So that's certainly a possibility when it comes to water resistance. And in a separate report, I'm getting into the Weinbach stuff here, he's reporting that Apple is bringing the underwater usable screen tech to the Apple Watch as well. Now, Apple is still years away from bringing this tech to an iPhone, but the Apple Watch is in its sights regarding this tech. And an older report by Economic Daily News confirms that micro LED display technology is coming to the Apple Watch in 2020. Now, Bloomberg disagrees, saying that Apple is not there yet, and they'll be releasing it in a future Apple Watch, but it is very possible we could see the very advanced micro LED tech in this year's Apple Watch, although unlikely. Okay, and getting into those exclusives with Max Weinbach. So Apple is focusing not only on physical health, they have now turned their attention to mental health with the Apple Watch and the Health app on future iPhones. Apple wants the Apple Watch and the Health app to be a complete all-in-one suite for both mental and physical health. So they'll be developing features to closely monitor and alert of oncoming panic or anxiety attacks. The Apple Watch will be able to detect when the user is under stress or experiencing a panic attack, and will be able to provide guidance and breathing instructions to help you get over it. Not only that, but it'll introduce monitoring and history of these issues so you can closely track them and help diagnose them in the future. The goal essentially is to, over time, learn which symptoms occur before an anxiety attack occurs and to help warn you of that. The notifications will be similar to those high heart rate notifications you currently get on the Apple Watch. I'm sure this will be a regional issue, much like the electrocardiogram feature. Apple will slowly roll it out as they get better at it. You'll also be able to manually specify the symptoms in order to increase the accuracy. It's a brilliant feature, unlikely that it'll make its way into an Apple Watch or the Health app on the iPhone anytime soon. Probably up to 2 years to release this feature. Weinbach says it's more than likely we'll see this in a future watchOS update, unlikely that any device below the Series 4 will be supported. And in a separate report by 9to5Mac, they elaborate on watchOS 7 and a new kids mode for activity. Using one device, a parent may set up multiple Apple Watches for their kids, and of course, we already learned about school time and limiting hours and functions of the Apple Watch, but now it goes into more detail and introduces health to kids in an easy and digestible way. Essentially, Apple is making exercise easier to understand for kids, replacing the move goal with calories to move time, which essentially combines exercise and calories into one metric unit. So you can set a goal of, let's say, 90 minutes of exercise on the Apple Watch, and it'll factor in calories and exercise time in a very easy to understand interface for kids. What's even more interesting is a patent has been filed that details a cheaper construction for the Apple Watch made from plastic and ceramic fibers. This essentially could be a kid-focused device, more durable, cheaper to make, and with watchOS 7 supporting kid mode and all that, this could be the perfect device to gift to your kids. The patent essentially details that this would be a cost-saving measure as well as a structural benefit to the Apple Watch. And of course, watchOS 7 will be previewed beta 1 at WWDC in June and then launched alongside the Series 6 this fall. The verifier also confirms that watchOS 7 will not be happening on the Apple Watch Series 2. So now the cutoff is Series 3 and above. In a fantastic improvement to Maps, Apple is bringing COVID-19 testing locations into your Maps natively integrated. Awesome. All right, guys, that's the latest. See you this week. It's going to be a crazy one. Peace.